Aberystwyth is a seaside town, very, very friendly.
Wrth y môr, sy'n byd gwell na'r haf.
I think it's a unique town.
Everyone knows each other, sometimes that's a bad thing, sometimes it's a good thing.
You walk down the street, it's always a hello, how are we, and it's a football town.
Football is a big part of life in Aberystwyth.
Canolbwynt y dre rili yw'r clwb Bêl-droed.
I've been involved with Aberystwyth Ladies, 18 years. I've been a player, I've been the comb picker-up person, and now I'm more involved with the coaching side of things. When I was younger, I played a lot of football in schools, but there wasn't a girls' football team around in the area. So my father, Ray, formed Aberystwyth Girls to begin with.
What was happening is a lot of the girls were playing football in the junior league. When they hit the age of 14, there was no football for them. So what we did is that we started a under-14s and an under-16s girls teams, and we played in the Powys League.
We used to travel to Newtown and Machynlleth just to play.
We won the under-14s league, and we won the under-16s league, and we won a League Cup as well. What we did then, we entered the Ceredigion Ladies League.
Most of the girls were local girls, and then we managed to attract a few students, which strengthened the team.
First season we were in the league, we came fourth. The second season we came third. The third season we came second. And the fourth season we won the league.
We weren't allowed to play on Park Avenue to begin with, and it was a constant battle with the committee. I think half the committee didn't even know that there was a ladies' football team.
We used to arrive here, change in the changing rooms, run to our cars in our socks and shin pads, drive to the other side of town to play on Padan's pitch, who were kind enough to let us play there, and then after jump back in the car, muddy, wet, and drive back here to have showers and change after.
It was only when we got invited to join the Welsh Premier League that we were actually allowed to play on Park Avenue.
The FAW very kindly got in touch with Aberystwyth Town Football Club and said that we had to play here, so that was nice.
There's a lot of thank you that needs to go to Ray. Without him, Aberystwyth would not be here at this moment of time.
He's a dad to all of us.
He probably has 20-odd Father's Day cards on Father's Day.
Boi ffeindiol. A mae dal yn really bwysig i ni heddi.
He is my hero.
10 years out of 12 we've been part of the Welsh Premier League. We have had relative success in staying in top tier of women's football. Not always great during those years. Some quite heavy losses, some of the bigger teams.
We've got a fantastic gentleman looking after us at the moment with his professional licence. He's brought us on 1,000 miles forward, even from 2-3 years ago.
I came in, we'd finished I think 3 years on a bounce bottom. I said it right at the start of the season, what about finishing fourth if we believe in it? Asking the girls to do what they were good at, highlighting the positives. Look at the fitness levels, look at the mentality, look at what we were doing on and off the pitch.
When Gav came in and said, we want to finish in the top four, we all, after he'd left the room, looked at each other and we were like, really? It wasn't something that we believed we could do. But wow, last season was just incredible. When we went down to Port Albert on the last game, we knew we needed a point to secure 4.
Ray couldn't be with us because he was having a knock basically with his knee, and we all emphasised let's get to this fourth for Ray basically because of all the hard work that he's done.
We went 1-0 down, so it was shaky, but we ended up winning the game, and that day was the best day of my career here in Aber, and well, my best day of my career full stop, and that bus journey back was the best 3 hours of my life.
His vast knowledge, his experience, total professional attitude with the coaching, he's brought that to the girls.
but I've seen a lot of big characters come through. One of the biggest characters I would say would be our captain at the moment, Kelly Thomas.
Got to be the biggest personality, not always for the right for the right reasons.
Ti'n clywed cyn bod ti'n gweld Bêl-droed.
All I'm saying is, I took over as captain, Gav made me captain, and we had the most successful season in the league we've ever had. And I don't think it's a coincidence.
Over the years, I've had big fallings out with her during football, but we're the best of friends outside of football, which is brilliant.
Huge character, but she's there for everybody. Somebody that you really need in your team.
It's actually quite difficult for us as a club to attract players to come and play for us purely because of where we're based. We've tried to sign, I think, 20 players in January, and it was just too far for nearly all of them.
We can't entice people the same way that some of the clubs in the capital can. We play against Cardiff City, Swansea City. The badge alone can attract players without even having to have a conversation with someone.
Mae yna gymaint o ferched sydd yn y sir yma eisiau chwarae Bêl-droed. A ni'n colli nhw mewn ffordd os nag oes dan i'r mynediad na at Bêl-droed. Ni'n colli nhw I dîmau mewn siroedd eraill.
There's a lot of girls football in North Wales and South Wales, so Mid Wales, there's a massive gap in the market.
And that's why we found it so important to start this Girls Development Centre. We have to start growing our own players.
We are now hitting under 10s, 12s, 14s, 16s, and we're up to the max basically of numbers on every one of them.
Obviously, there's so much funding that goes into the Boys Academy. The Girls Development Centre gets a significant amount less. We are trying our absolute hardest to ensure that there are qualified, quality coaches there to coach these girls and bring them through and develop them as best as we possibly can, so that when they get to the right age, we can take them on into the first team and they can do a job for us. We've recently had 2 15-year-olds that have come through that process, make their debuts for the first team, so that's really, really positive.
We haven't got the budget what the men has, but we can do it in different ways. We're linking in with 2 coaching schemes basically that goes around the schools for us. What we've done last year with bringing Ellen Valentine here through our scholarship scheme with the university.
We've offered out camps in the last year and they have been so busy. We weren't sure it was going to be a risk, thinking we're only offering it out to girls, is it going to be well attended, is it going to be worthwhile putting on? But we put on a few camps and we were getting between 50 to 100 girls straight away. That's why it is so important, because girls do want to play, and hopefully some of these young girls now that come into these camps, they're going through to the development centre and they'll be coming through hopefully to our women's team.
Girls are travelling here, which for me is fantastic to see. They want to come and play football. They can be still affiliated with their grassroots clubs, but they're looking then, you know, where can they get better? Unfortunately, we're not blessed with facilities around Ceredigion. This is up to the maximum of training. So when we're talking about new programs, new strategies that we need to put in place, but we're going to find it difficult basically to find room for everybody.
It's been difficult because of the lack of funding, but I do think that we have the passion and the drive, and we understand the importance of doing that. We are getting there.
I think from an Aberystwyth women's side, I think we've been fantastic with our social media.
Before this season, it was really difficult because it was us doing it. Carrie Dunn came in at the start of this season. She happened to move to the area and she just messaged our Twitter and said, I'd like to help out in any way I can.
A lot of knowledge of women's football, a lot of connections and networking.
She has done so much work to ensure that we get the exposure that we need and that we deserve.
We've got a really good graphic designer, Steve Brooks, does it all voluntarily for us as well.
Our socials are absolutely full of great content, you know, videos, interviews, match reports, match build-ups. It has grown and grown, and it's been a real asset to us as a club.
The whole purpose of it is to try and get our women's football out there for people to understand, look, we've got a club here. I've said from day one as I walked in here, smile, be happy. If you're going out to enjoy it, you'll run a little bit more, you'll run a little bit harder, and if you've got that group together in that dressing room, it can create a culture basically that you really want to be here.
I think from a first team perspective, I'd love for us to achieve top 4 status in the Adran Premier each year. And again, homegrown players coming through, like our current under-16 squad now, for example, in 5 years' time, hopefully they will be our first team.
Fi'n gobeithio byddai dal yn wario Bêl-droed mewn 5 mlynedd. Mae hwnna'n rhywbeth pwysig i fi. Fi'n joio Bêl-droed. Yr set-ups da nhw nawr, yr oedrannau sy'n dod lan, fi'n credu bod e'n edrych yn good i pawb yn y dyfodol.
Champions League, men! Obviously! I'm going to roll with that one.
We've proven that we are competitive, that we can compete against the big dogs like the Swanseas and the Cardiffs. We all bleed green, as we always say. Yes, it's brilliant.
I would love us to get to maybe lift the Welsh Cup one day. We can wish even more if we can, and maybe win the Welsh Prem and represent Wales in Europe. That would be an amazing dream.